Good morning, afternoon, and evening. My name is Aquarius, and welcome to another episode of Starline Tarot. Now, to get into this reading, besides the fact that I'll be doing more live stream readings, as you could also notice, there will be another reader on this channel, my mother, Miss Nubia Nile. So please check out her stuff as well. Leave a like, subscribe, join this family, one person at a time. And yeah, if this reading resonated with you, leave a like, comment, and that should be it. We'll just do one more good shuffle. Okay. Okay. First card out of the gate is the Page of Pentacles. So we're already starting with a more financially immature individual person who's not in their full their full kingly power or queenly power just yet. Someone who's still in what I would like to call the development phase of their physical manifestation. And it's been keeping them up at night. Here with the Nine of Swords. Dealing with the remnants of a nightmare, something that you're dealing with, or dealing with the remnants of a trauma that you've had in the past due to the fact, or in your mind, because of whatever's going on here. Now, let's see what your best possible outcome is. Best possible outcome is the Ace of Cups. So clearly we are in the energy of someone who is attempting to build more emotional release. I see someone who wishes to give out to the world as much as the world gives to them type energy. So what we're really looking for is for you to fall into that very, once again, nurturing aspect about yourself. Let's see what more we got going on here. Yeah, and because this is where you're passionate at, is what I'm getting here with the Ace of Wands, which is very interesting. So with the Ace of Cups, we have, once again, your best possible outcome being able to emotionally be giving, or spirit emotionally giving to you, and then using that, because right now you yourself, or the situation is that you're in a place of starting passion. This is probably why we're in this more immature Page of Coins energy, because we're now sitting in a much more smaller place. We're at a development stage. This is why we need to be able to start propelling ourselves forward so we can get to this energy of this emotional fulfillment, while also using the passion that we have to be able to grow ourselves financially. But the thing here in the recent past is that it's a long process. This is a very long process, and you have to be patient with this process. You have to sit on the fact that you have to, in the recent past, have had to wait on things. And here now in the near future, you're being asked to look at things from a different perspective and understand what's really going on for what it is. All right, now let's look at the you in the reading. The you in the reading, you in the reading is the King of Coins. So we're already in this more king-like energy. So this is probably why we're sitting here in this Page of Coins energy in the first place, because you're already at that king-like state. But at this point, you're feeling in this energy of, I don't have enough. I feel like now is like an energy of lack. Because in the past, you've had to wait on certain things to be able to get to be brought to you, and it's just been hard. But if that's the case, let's see what next we can pull out next. Yeah, you're being asked to heal right now. External forces are telling you to heal, to get back to yourself in a certain way so you can find that peace again. Because the reality is you hope for ultimate happiness. But you're in this energy of juggling, of this juggling act, trying to balance so much at once. And though that this is something that you're in the attempt of developing, please understand that you put yourself in a position of overextending. Please understand that you have to kind of go with the waves, and as this shows in the back, you have to go with the motion of things. Because if you start to force anything at this state, you might overextend, you might strain yourself, you might continue to stress yourself. And they need you to understand that this is a time for you to look at things from a different perspective, and also a time to heal. But yeah, next up, let's see. For clarifiers, we'll be using the vice versa tarot. So we're going to start with the Two of Coins. And this is definitely the energy of, oh, it's time to have a change of direction, I get. I definitely get this is now a time for, and it's definitely the thought of what am I going to be leaving, what's ahead of me. What am I going to be leaving behind? And it's kind of leaving you in a very stressed position. You're looking so forward, you're looking outward to everything else around you, but you're not paying attention to what's at your feet. And whatever this passion is, it's very toxic. So you're sitting on your love and you're feeding into your passionate toxicity. But you've been using your wisdom to be able to navigate this this whole waiting period for you. Yeah, so with that wisdom, we'll see what we get with the near future. What we get is the moon. So clearly using your intuition to find the middle ground in all of this. Because if you're not paying attention, this is going to turn into an illusion for you. You're not going to know which way to go. But we've already picked a direction for you, is the thing, right? We've already picked that new direction and that middle ground for you. So there's no reason for you to feel like you need to continue to ask too many questions. It's just more of a time for you to sit down with yourself and figure out what's the best path forward, what's the simplest path forward. And just know that this whole wheel of fortune for you is going to change. It's going to try bring it to you a new truth, a new form of spiritual guidance, so that you can move forward. And here with the Eight of Cups, it's definitely the energy of you sitting with this energy. Once again, you sitting with this energy and wondering, how do I get past this? Sitting with this energy and wondering, how do I wish I could do more with this, with the shooting star in the back, you know? Because reality is, you want your 10 of cups, you want your ultimate happiness, and you want this happiness to be everlasting, to be fruitful, to be abundant, to hold, you know, that fountain of youth like energy, you know, and to be comfortable in that energy. But you feel like you need to stand your ground with everything. You feel like you have to fight with everyone. You feel like you have to stand, like nothing can pass you. And maybe this toxic energy is that you feel like you have to constantly stand your ground and fight back against individuals. If that's the case, let's see what we can pull from the Self-Care Tarot. Spirit says, connect with your ancestors. Okay. Next up, we're going to do the oracles. Learn from life. Okay. And lastly, in the Build Your Own Magic, Gray. Endings are inevitable. Interesting. All right, let's first start with connect with your ancestors. Mantra. As I heal my wounds, I heal my lineage and bring peace that reverberates infinitely throughout time and space. Through understanding our history, we gain a deep sense of appreciation for all the time and people it took to bring us into this world. Connecting with our ancestors is one way to better understand ourselves, our patterns, and the patterns present within our lineage. It allows us to make peace with all that has happened before. It also provides motivation to evolve and find new ways to live, new and better ways to live. Building the bridge is something that can do by researching and connecting the dots between families and stories, DNA analysis, and traditional archives. You can also learn about your family line in more intuitive ways, like meditating, dream work, and working with a past life regression specialist, or someone who specializes in reading the Akashic Records, a metaphysical archive of everything that has ever happened within the universe, including all of your past times and those that will come in the future. Call on your ancestors to tap into the centuries of wisdom, protection, and guidance as you look back and connect with your forebears. Your path forward will become more evident. Journal prompt. What patterns or trends exist in your family line, especially among the women? Do these patterns appear in your life? Okay. Next up, the Everyday Witch Tarot. Learn from Life, page 46. Alright, learn from life. Someone once said that those who do not learn from their mistakes are doomed to repeat them. Have you been learning as you move through life, as you're still doing the same thing over and over again and wondering why situations hasn't changed? There are many different ways to learn: books, experience, the wisdom of others. But if you want to become your own best self, it is important to keep learning from life lessons, large and small. What have you learned from today? Action. Make an effort to learn something new today. You can try something different or see what happens, do some research, or read a bit in a book by one of your favorite authors. Or you could just talk to someone who has had experiences you haven't and ask them about it. And older people may know a lot of things you don't. Maybe talk to a parent, grandparent, community elder, or neighbor and ask them what they've learned in their travels. Divination. This card suggests that maybe you need to be paying more attention to the lessons the universe is sending you. Is there something you should be doing differently but aren't because you haven't learned from your mistakes? Or is there some way you could be improving your life if only you were willing to expand your knowledge? Make sure that you are embracing life and experiencing it fully. Magic. Sometimes we need help figuring out what the lesson is that we are supposed to be taking away from a particular situation or challenge, especially if strong emotions are involved. Sit in front of a yellow or white candle. If you want, you can put a book next to the candle to symbolize knowledge. Light the candle and say, "Good God and Goddess, please help me learn from life as fully and gracefully as possible." And lastly, from the Build Your Own Magic, Gray. Endings are inevitable. Interesting, these are mermaid cards. As humans, we tend to see things in black and white, forgetting to account for all the gray in between. There's someone in your life who's begun to fade away, or maybe they're gone altogether now. Don't fight it. Real relationships are not the same as the fairy tales we know and love. There are no neat and tidy bows to tie things up at the end, leaving you satisfied. Acceptance isn't easy, but it's a thing you need to work toward. Create your own closure. Well, it seems like Spirit has given you a very clear answer. Don't feel like I got much more to say. I feel like definitely this reading, though, however you're curious, is about you tapping into the past of tapping into your past lineage, and speaking with your ancestors and looking at the decisions of the past, because you might not know certain actions we may take could be generational curses. It could be experiences of other people they've experienced in their lives, and maybe this is something that you should be connecting with another person about versus doing something by yourself. Hence why saying things like learning from life is so important, because you're right, elders, neighbors, parents, grandparents, everybody has a little bit of wisdom. And taking all those bits of wisdom could help you create your own answer to a complicated question you haven't been able to answer for yourself yet. So don't be afraid on connecting with those around you. Don't be afraid to connect with those who you know you can trust, because at the end of the day, this is your journey, and making it easier for you should always be the ultimate goal. But with that being said, I appreciate you chilling, relaxing, and having a good time with me. I will see you, lovely starseeds, later.